Hey guys, back again. So, been a little bit since I made a video, but nothing really has been going on. I had my had drill last weekend, so I want to talk about that a little bit. It's my second RSP drill. It'll also be my last RSP drill before I ship. So, I mentioned last video that my first RSP drill was cut short because of the government shutdown, so it was only one day. So I didn't really get the full drill experience, I guess you could say. So this time it was a 2-day drill and got a better idea. So I'll just tell you a little bit about how RSP is for prior service. Again, this is my experience in my state, in my unit, so everyone's might be a little bit different. So in this RSP unit, there were 2 prior service guys, including me. So there's one other guy. He was a sergeant. And so yeah, we kind of stayed apart from the regular privates for the most part. So we had to form up in the morning just for accountability when we first got there. We kind of made our own little platoon. I was the platoon sergeant, and then there's one guy in my platoon. So it was kind of funny looking, but and then we kind of just went through the whole report in the report. Command, stuff like that. If you're familiar with drill and ceremony, if you're prior service, then you know what I'm talking about. And just kind of show the newer guys how to go about that, as squad leaders and all that. So at that point, we separated off into phases. I was now considered blue phase because I was shipping within the next before the next drill, which there were 3 of us. In blue phase, us 2 prior service guys, and then one private, which is ROTC private. So yeah, the 3 of us are shipping within the next month. And so what did we do the first day? Oh, right, yeah. So the only thing we really did, so the prior service guys, I keep saying prior service guys, is that there's a group of us. It was 2 of us. But we helped set up the OPAT. So I ran the OPAT last month, and it's basically, if you didn't watch my last video, if you're not familiar with the OPAT, it's basically just the, it's the sort of starter beginner PT test, I guess you could say. I think they're trying to phase it in where that is going to replace the 111, which I don't think it has yet, but I think they're kind of leaning in that direction. So you have to do a medicine ball throw, you have to do a long jump, deadlift, and some interval run thing. And so they want you to pass that before shipping to basic. And there's also different categories. You can score in different ranges. So there's heavy, there's significant, and there's moderate, I think, are the 3 categories. And depending on your MOS will determine what category you need to get. So because I'm going into cyber or signal, there's a lot of just sitting down, so it's all the lower requirements. If you're going to 11 Bravo infantry, so heavier requirement MOSs like that, then you might be required to get heavy on all the categories and so on. So anyways, since I ran that last month, I didn't need to run it again this month. It's good for 90 days. And I just helped set up and score the privates that were running it. It was the ones that it was their first drill or theirs just had expired. So I was just a grader, help set up and break down all that. So that's kind of all I remember doing the first day. Oh, right. Also, I kind of just hid the rest of the day, and there was a computer lab, and some of the guys had to and ladies had to go through some courses. What's it called? SSD, I think. It's something I'm not familiar with. It's something that's new, I think, since last time I was in, that they didn't have. So I'm not too familiar with it. It's called SSD. So you can look up. It's a bunch of different training things. There's I think safe driver I saw. There's probably sexual harassment stuff, all those sort of annual training things that you had to go to. And now there's different levels of SSD. depending on your rank. So at private, you just have to do SSD1, and then like maybe sergeant, you have to do SSD2, and staff sergeant SSD3 or whatever. Not too familiar with that, but anyways, they were doing their training for that. I needed to set up my MyPay and my AKO accounts, so I did that. Now I didn't mention, so I did this since last video. I went on post. I live by Fort Gordon, so I have easy access to a military base. So I went on post to get my military ID, my CAT card, which I'm glad I did, because then I was able to set up my accounts at drill. I actually could have done it at home, which I didn't realize. I thought someone had to set it up for me, but all you really need is a CAC reader, which I have one at home. So I could have done that, but I didn't know. So got to do that there at drill, which is cool. Got to kill some time, and then kind of just like sat around in the computer room while everyone was doing their training. Just kind of stayed out of sight. Didn't really have anything for us to do. So yeah, that was all that day. So they gave the privates MREs for lunch. They told us, prior service guys, we can just go pick up lunch. Gave us like an hour, and so I got back from lunch. Yeah, they said be back at 12:30, I think it was, and then so we got back at 12:30. I found the other sergeant, and we couldn't find anyone. And so we walked around for a while, and it was like 12:45. We saw one of the cadre members there, and so we asked him, like, we're supposed to be somewhere, like, what's going on? And they said that they were still at Chow and they were marching back. So they got back shortly after, and yeah, I think we just kind of hid out in the computer lab for the rest of the day. So that was probably it for the first day. Nothing too exciting, just a lot of just sitting around, not really doing anything. And then the second day, so apparently usually Sundays are half days for that unit. So we got in, so they had PT at 06. They told us, the prior service guys, that we can come if we wanted to, but if we don't want to, and then just show up at 8. And so I was kind of thinking about it, and then like we were still kind of talking, and the platoon sergeant that I was talking, he was like, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to show up, he's like, no, just come at 8. But I was thinking about it. I'm glad I didn't, because it was raining that morning. It was cold and raining, so like, you know what, I'd be cool with PTing with everyone, but cold and raining at 06. If it's optional, I'll go ahead and pass. If it's mandatory, if they wanted me to be there, then whatever. It is what it is. But given the choice, I'd rather not. So, anyways, yeah. So I showed up at 8 after they had PT. Had accountability, formation. The privates. it was kind of funny. So so we made our little side platoon of us 2 people in the morning, just like we did on Saturday. And didn't realize that they were going to have a little smoke session in the morning. So one of the cadre members came out. She was pissed off about something, I don't know what, and she goes, half right face, front leaning rest position move. And so like we were following along with it. We're like, yeah, whatever, we'll get down. And then so we started doing push-ups, and then another one of the cadre members just kind of like walked over to me and whispered, like, get out. so I called my platoon to attention and fell out, and we just kind of watched. It was funny. We were talking over there, and then someone talking to the cadre. He's like, "What are you doing? You're a staff sergeant." I'm like, "I don't know. It's playing along. I mean, I have to go to basic too, so I might as well get used to it." So, but it was pretty funny. So, yeah, they got smoked for a while, and then they were told to go clean, and we were told to just go supervise the cleaning. We did that for a while, and then they pulled in the blue phase people, us 3, to talk to about what we need to know for shipping. They gave us a packing list, which I was going to bring that up. Not really any point. Gave me a packing list, a bunch of stuff on it. I think I'm going to pretty much ignore it. So there was a lot of things on there that doesn't seem like I need it. First of all, it seems outdated. It says like, do not bring your cell phone. Like everyone brings their cell phone to basic, as far as I know. Because I keep being told like they're allowed to use their cell phones from time to time, even like the privates. So yeah, things like that. And I'm gonna bring my cell phone, especially just for like the trip there. If they're gonna take it from me and keep it in storage or whatever they do, then fine. But I'm not gonna just leave it at home. And stuff like that. It says like bring like 6 pairs of socks and all this stuff, which I don't think I need because I'm gonna get issued everything I need. So I'll probably need like maybe a change of clothes, but I'm gonna pack real light. A lot of the things it said to bring, I don't think I'm going to bring. I'm gonna look online about what other people recommend. I watched a couple of videos a few days ago about what to bring. So I think I'm going to kind of base my packing off of that more than this packing list. I don't think this packing list is very good. But anyways, back to the story. They gave me the packing list and said, that's really all I got for you. You guys have done this before. If you have any questions, ask a couple questions about when we're going to the hotel. And the other guy kind of lives nearby. He was asking if he can just show up in the morning, which I'm not going to do. They told us we could just show up there in the morning if we want. And they were like, I mean, you guys have prior service. If you guys don't show up and you guys don't ship, I kick you out and you're done. That's on you. I don't care. And so that was pretty cool. They're kind of, they don't care about us. They care about us, but like they kind of just have the attitude of like, just do whatever you want. You guys know what you're doing. If you don't show up, that's on you. You're adults. You're prior service. You've been in before. You know what you need to do. So just do it. So I like that attitude. Hopefully that kind of sticks through basic and stuff like that. So, but we'll see. I do ship in 2 weeks from today. I will be there. Is my ship date. So actually it'll be the Sunday before that. No, the dates is my ship date is actually the 26th. So I'll go off to the hotel. I never finished the story on the 25th. So yeah, for me, I live about 2 hours from Atlanta, where the MEP station is. So it would not make sense for me to wake my baby up at 3 in the morning and my wife and have her take me to Atlanta at 3 in the morning with the baby, just to drop me off at MEPS. So I'll be going to the hotel the night before, saying my goodbyes the day before and all that. So yeah, that's the plan for now. As far as prepping, my PT is coming along. I did a little self PT test about 2 weeks ago. I ran a 1725. My minimum is 1742. So I'm in the passing range now. So it's nothing to write home about. Nothing good, but it's passing, and that's kind of all I really care about right now for basics. When I go to OCS, I obviously have to have a much better run time than that, and it'll get there, and it is getting there. Like I said, that was 2 weeks ago. Today I might be sub 17. I'm hoping that by the time I ship, I'll be somewhere around the 16-minute mark. So anywhere from like 16, really anywhere between like 16 to 17 minutes, I'm fine with. Again, it's not a good run, it's not a good score, but I'm going to continue to improve. I'll improve during basic, and hopefully come out of basic running maybe sub 15s. I'd be happy with, and then by the time OCS comes around, should be able to hit that max, 13, whatever I need around the 13-minute. So I'm not too worried about it. I have plenty of time. Just really getting back into PTing. So I'm totally fine with just passing right now. I definitely want to be passing the PT test before I go. And I'm at that point already. So yeah, that was like the bottom line must have. So from now on, it's just kind of really prepping for OCS. I don't care about PT during basic. I don't care about my score in basic. Don't care what I have going into basic. Don't care. It's really OCS that I'm concerned about. So I want to have my good score by OCS. So really, basic is just a good opportunity for me to train for OCS. Anyways, beat that dead horse. As far as other preparations, I don't know. Really, it's tough because nobody knows anything about this prior service basic. Like, these people at RSP don't know anything about it. I guess they haven't sent anyone to it yet. I guess, or at least if they have, then maybe they haven't came back. Oh, another thing I should mention about RSP, which I didn't know. So there's a gold phase at RSP, which some of you might be familiar with. I was not. What that means is that they've gone to basic, but haven't gone to AIT. I think this is a National Guard. I think RSP in general is a National Guard thing. Yeah, they've been to basic. They haven't been to AIT. So they stay in RSP, which I didn't realize, because active duty, you go from your basic training, and then you just go straight to your AIT and just wait till your class starts. At least that's how it was for me in the Marines. Went to boot camp and then MCT, and then went to my A school and just had to wait around for a couple months until the next class started. But anyways, for the National Guard, you just kind of stay in RSP until you're done with all your training. So there are people that have been to basic already still in RSP. So the other prior service guy, the sergeant, he's coming back in just as an enlisted MOS. So he'll be doing that. So after his basic, he'll be going back to RSP. Although I think he's not going to AIT right away. I think he's going to do like a battle handoff to his unit at that point, and his unit will set up his AIT. But he's still coming back to RSP. I am not. I'm going straight from... after I get out of basic, I'm going to a different RSP, an officer RSP, or ORP, I think it's called. I've heard like 3 different names now. I've heard ORP, I've heard ORSP, I've heard RSPO, so whatever. It's the same thing. It's RSP for officers. So I'll be going straight into that unit once I finish basic, and then that's my prep for OCS. So I won't be going back to that unit. But anyway, so these gold phasers. So apparently there's a big deal about this battle handoff when these the people that finish their AIT get handed off to their unit. There's like a big huge ceremony. Apparently they fly in helicopters and stuff like that for the ceremony, and give people medals. They give like Army Achievement medals if they were honor grads, like crazy stuff. Like this. I think this is fairly new. The platoon sergeant was like joking around about it. It's like, yeah, when like my battle handoff would just like, you graduate AIT, show up at this drill, show up at this location next drill, and that was it. So now like they make a super big deal about it. So it's interesting, but whatever. I won't be going through that. But yeah, just for your information, if you guys are going through that, just so you know. Again, that's Georgia. Every state might be different. So that's all for now. So this will be my last, might not be my last update, but it was my last drill before I go to basic. So before we know it, we'll be shipping off to basic and getting that over with. Again, I'll try to update whenever I can about what prior service basic is, how it goes, what to expect, and all that, because there's no information about it anywhere. So hopefully I will be able to provide some insight on what to expect there. So see you there at Fort Leonard Wood. Later.